Oké, even tijd, rust pakken.
Problems for a troubled
Earthquake.
singer. Yep,
We're
we
having
got
an earthquake.
Live TV is unpredictable, where one misstep can create unforgettable and sometimes career-ending moments. Think of Bill O'Reilly's dramatic fall after 16 years at Fox News, or Charlie Rose's downfall during the #MeToo movement, exposing the dark side of television. Today, we explore the stories of news anchors whose on-air blunders led to their rapid and shocking downfalls. Career-ending behavior. Matt Lauer, who had spent 20 years co-hosting NBC's Today Show, was a fixture in American morning television. He conducted 10 presidential interviews, covered 9 Olympics, and traveled to over 60 countries, earning a salary of $20 million annually. Reflecting on his career, Lauer once expressed immense happiness and contentment. However, in November 2017, he was abruptly fired following allegations of inappropriate behavior from a female colleague. As more accusations emerged, some suggested that NBC had previously ignored his misconduct. NBC confirmed Lauer's dismissal was due to reported sexual misconduct. Lauer admitted to feeling embarrassed but disputed some claims as false. His sudden departure shocked many and marked a controversial end to his esteemed career on one of America's top morning shows. Political censorship. 2 weeks before the 2004 U.S. presidential elections, CBS's 60 Minutes 2 made headlines with Dan Rather's explosive report on the Killian documents. These memos, alleging George Washington Bush's avoidance of Vietnam War service, sparked immediate controversy and were accused of being forgeries. As the internet buzzed with skepticism, CBS faced intense pressure and retracted the story, firing the producers involved. Despite the retraction, CBS defended the report's authenticity, claiming critics attacked their process to discredit the facts. The scandal marked the end of Dan Rather's illustrious career at CBS, and the drama was later immortalized in the 2015 film Truth, Teenage Hijacker. In 2015, a bizarre incident unfolded in the Netherlands when NOS News Channel was unexpectedly hijacked. A scrawny 19-year-old in a suit stormed the studio, brandishing a weapon and demanding to speak with someone from CNN.
Jij hebt het gehoord net als ik,
Ja.
dat de microfoon het doet.
Ja, de microfoon doet het, maar ik moet weten dat we live op televisie zijn.
He let most staff leave but kept a few hostages, nervously pacing with his weapon and claiming it was just a precaution. He reassured his captives that they'd be released after he spoke with CNN. The staff, skeptical of his promises, pretended to contact CNN while actually stalling for time. Police soon intervened, and the man surrendered, revealing his weapon was a replica.
Oké, even tijd, rust.
Though sentenced to prison, his motives remained a mystery, robbed on live television. During a live broadcast for South African Broadcasting Corporation News, Vuyo Mavoko was reporting when 2 men suddenly appeared behind him. Initially, Vuyo thought they were just trying to disrupt the broadcast, but it soon became clear their intentions were far more sinister. The men attempted to rob the news crew, with Vuyo audibly exclaiming, "We're being mugged! Hey, we're being mugged!"
Hey, we're being mugged. We're being mugged.
Their brazen act, committed on live TV with their faces clearly visible, made it easy for police to track them down and arrest them later. While the arrest brought resolution, the incident was a harrowing experience for Vuyo and his team, and left viewers unsettled as they watched the drama unfold live, taking down Big Pharma. Taking on the Goliath of the pharmaceutical world was never going to be easy, but Jane Accra and her husband Steve Wilson were determined. As seasoned reporters, they had tackled tough stories before, but their 1997 expose on Monsanto, a biotech giant notorious for its controversial products, would change their lives forever. Monsanto, known for its aggressive push of genetically modified organisms and its infamous weed killer Roundup, was no stranger to legal trouble. With lawsuits piling up over health concerns and environmental damage, the company turned to Fox News president Roger Ailes for help. They wanted Accra and Wilson's report, which highlighted the dangers of Monsanto's products, buried. Under pressure, WTVT, a Fox affiliate, caved and refused to air the story, ultimately terminating the couple's contracts. Accra and Wilson fought back, filing a wrongful termination lawsuit, arguing they were fired for refusing to spread misinformation. The legal battle dragged on, and while the court sided with the network, Accra won on a single whistleblowing claim. This case shines a light on the dark side of corporate influence, showing how even the truth can be silenced when powerful interests are at stake. Second take. While covering a bank robbery in Iowa, a news reporter found himself in an unexpected twist of fate.
Just 24 hours ago, this bank in North... That guy right there. What? That's the robber. Oh, that's the robber.
As he reported on the heist from the day before, a bank employee suddenly burst out, pointing and shouting, "That's the robber, Tyler! That guy right there!" To the reporter's shock,
Just 24 hours ago, this bank in North... That guy right there. What? That's the robber. Oh, that's the robber.
the same robber had returned to the scene, only to flee when he saw the news crew. Staying remarkably composed, the reporter announced, "This is live TV, folks. That's the robber who just went by," according to the bank employee. "So I gotta go here and call 911.
Oh, that's the robber. This is live TV, folks. That's the robber just went by, according to the bank employee. So I gotta go here and call 911.
Despite the gravity of the situation, he managed to handle it with surprising calmness. An hour later, police apprehended the robber, Ryan Liskow. The reporter Adam likely never imagined he would help capture the very criminal he was reporting on. Mid-weather pass out. One morning in Los Angeles, a routine news broadcast took a shocking turn when meteorologist Alyssa Carlson was handed the segment. As she began her weather report, she suddenly uttered, "This really is the calm before the storm. Not again, no," before collapsing live on air.
Alyssa, this really is the calm before the storm.
Not again! No!
The news anchors, initially bewildered, quickly recognized the gravity of the situation. Although Alyssa had previously faced health issues, including a leaky heart valve discovered 9 years prior, she assured viewers that this fainting episode was unrelated. Fortunately, she recovered and later reassured everyone that she was okay. The incident, though terrifying for both the crew and viewers, highlighted the unpredictability of medical emergencies. Unwanted photos. Eric Bolling, a conservative commentator who began his TV career as a financial analyst on Fast Money and later moved to Fox Business Network, saw his career take a dramatic turn in September 2017. As a prominent host on The Five, Bolling's ascent seemed unstoppable until HuffPost published a damning article accusing him of misconduct. The report alleged that he had sent inappropriate photos and texts to female colleagues. Bolling denied the claims, but Fox News suspended him for investigation. A month later, he was dismissed and his show was canceled. Bolling defended himself, stating, "My wife of 20 years and I are completely on board, on the same page, and I've never done anything like that. Taliban Takeover." In 2021, as Afghanistan fell under Taliban control and American troops withdrew, the Taliban seized government buildings and TV stations across the country. During a routine broadcast, a news anchor faced a chilling ordeal when a group of Taliban fighters stormed the studio. Surrounded and visibly frightened, the anchor was coerced into delivering a message instructing Afghans not to leave the country. Since then, over 600 media outlets in Afghanistan have shut down, and female news presenters are now required to wear veils. The anchor's fear was palpable, knowing that a wrong word could end his life. Thankfully, he was unharmed, but the harrowing moment left an indelible mark on viewers. Angry resignation. In 1960, a dramatic live resignation took place on Tonight starring Jack Paar, a precursor to today's The Tonight Show. During one broadcast, Paar was caught off guard when NBC censors replaced one of his toilet jokes with news coverage. Known for his volatile temperament, Paar abruptly announced his resignation on air, declaring, "I am opposed to purposely plotted risque material. I am more vehemently opposed to yellow journalism. There must be a better way of making a living than this."
At a time when I could have used their help. You have been peachy to me always. Jack, you know what I said to you.
After a 3-week hiatus and some convincing, Paar returned to the show. He humorously addressed his earlier resignation with, "There isn't," and continued the show as though nothing had happened. Leaked secrets. Ed Henry, the chief White House correspondent for Fox News, faced a major scandal during his career. Allegations of an extramarital affair with a Las Vegas cocktail waitress emerged, prompting Fox News to announce, "We recently became aware of Ed's personal issues, and he's taking some time off to work things out." This led to a 4-month suspension as Henry worked to restore his reputation. However, in 2020, more serious allegations surfaced, with 2 women accusing him of harassment and assault. One accuser stated, "I felt that he had the power to derail me, to destroy me, to ruin my career, and I didn't have a voice until now." Henry was suspended and ultimately fired after an investigation. The scandal marked a dramatic fall from grace for Henry, overshadowing his efforts to revive his career and deeply impacting the victims who came forward. Bye-bye, Charlie Rose. Charlie Rose, a highly respected TV journalist with a career spanning over 40 years, saw his esteemed reputation unravel amid the #MeToo movement in late 2017. An article by The Washington Post revealed numerous allegations of misconduct against the renowned host. Many of the accusers were women who had worked with Rose early in their careers, making it particularly risky for them to come forward. Gina Riggi, Rose's long-term makeup artist, described the studio environment as a sexual hunting ground. Riggi, who worked on The Charlie Rose Show for 22 years, reported experiencing misogynistic, abusive behavior from Rose. She recounted demeaning comments about her gender and appearance, and even used a hand mirror to shield herself from his advances. The allegations against Rose extended beyond the studio, with claims that he targeted women at his Manhattan and Hamptons residences and at trendy restaurants where he held staff events. The complaints allege that Rose sought out young, attractive women early in their journalism careers, offering them false promises of internships and job opportunities under the pretense of interviews and career discussions, often involving drinks and dinner. On one occasion, during a location shoot, Rose allegedly became enraged and physically assaulted Riggi by twisting her arm, causing her pain. Despite her protests and attempts to report the behavior, her complaints went unaddressed, leading her to use a hand mirror as protection against further assaults. Within 24 hours of the article's publication, Charlie Rose's shows were suspended, and he was quickly removed from his anchor position. Rose issued an apology, acknowledging his inappropriate behavior and expressing embarrassment. He stated, "I deeply apologize for my inappropriate behavior. I am greatly embarrassed. I have behaved insensitively at times, and I accept responsibility for that." Despite this, his attorney later denied the allegations in a lawsuit filed in Manhattan State Court, dismissing them as sensational but lacking substantial merit. Mexico earthquake. In 2017, while a Mexican news station was broadcasting live, a devastating 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck. The studio trembled, lights flickered, and alarms blared as the reporter scrambled to safety.
Conservar la calma y evacuar de inmediato. Me voy a levantar y voy a evacuar.
Though the anchor urged viewers to stay calm, his own fear was palpable. The earthquake resulted in 361 deaths and injured 6,000 others. While earthquakes are frequent in Mexico, this was one of the most severe, and it is rare to witness such a powerful quake unfold live on television. Table trouble. In 2014, a heated debate on a Jordanian news channel took a dramatic turn. During a discussion about the Syrian conflict, 2 journalists clashed intensely after one accused Shahir al-Jahari of supporting the Syrian opposition. The argument quickly spiraled out of control, with the 2 men shoving the news desk until it broke, despite a third anchor's attempts to defuse the situation. The conflict escalated, necessitating intervention from security to remove the journalists from the set. The incident, which unfolded live on air, shocked viewers and highlighted a significant breakdown in professionalism. The dramatic nature of the altercation underscored how quickly a live broadcast can deteriorate into chaos, especially when tensions run high and are left unchecked. Bad governor. Chris Cuomo, a leading anchor at CNN, was dismissed in December 2021 due to his involvement in defending his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who faced multiple harassment allegations. These claims included incidents where the governor was accused of inappropriate physical contact and unwanted advances. Chris Cuomo had initially avoided covering these allegations on his primetime news show, citing a conflict of interest. He explained, "I never covered my brother's troubles because I obviously have a conflict, and there are rules at cable news network about that." However, an investigation by the New York Attorney General's office revealed that Chris Cuomo had secretly assisted his brother's defense against the harassment claims. He used his media connections to gather information on the accusers and provided strategic advice to his brother's team. This revelation led to CNN suspending Chris Cuomo indefinitely and ultimately firing him. Despite his defense that he was trying to balance personal loyalty with his professional responsibilities, CNN concluded that he had violated the network's journalistic standards and ethics. Chris Cuomo defended his actions, asserting, "I know where the line is. I can respect it and still be there for my family, which I must." However, CNN's investigation found that his involvement crossed ethical boundaries, resulting in his dismissal. The scandal underscored the challenges of maintaining professional integrity while navigating personal loyalties, leading to the end of Chris Cuomo's career at CNN and highlighting the conflict between personal and professional responsibilities. Stroke. One morning, as Oklahoma news anchor Julie Chin was reporting, she began to slur her words.
The Tulsa air response,
which initially seemed like a minor error. However, her speech difficulties persisted
at the event,
and she soon lost vision in one eye, leading her to admit she couldn't continue.
"I'm sorry, something is going on with me this morning, and I apologize to everybody."
Moments before, she had appeared fine, but she was actually experiencing a stroke live on air.
Let's just go ahead and send it on over to meteorologist Annie Brown.
Her colleagues quickly recognized the problem and called 911, and some viewers also alerted the station, suspecting a stroke. Julie was rushed to the hospital and fortunately recovered. Her professionalism under duress and the swift action of her colleagues and viewers likely saved her life. Bill O'Reilly. The scandal that ended Bill O'Reilly's storied career as a top news anchor unfolded in April 2017. O'Reilly, the renowned host of The O'Reilly Factor on Fox News, had dominated the cable news landscape for 16 consecutive years. His downfall began when the New York Times published a bombshell report detailing multiple harassment lawsuits against him. The investigation revealed that O'Reilly had paid millions of dollars in settlements to silence various accusers. This exposure caused a sharp decline in advertisers for his show, leading Fox News to sever ties with O'Reilly. The report highlighted that the network and O'Reilly mutually agreed he would not return to the channel. The significant loss of advertising revenue and the public relations damage from the allegations contributed to his departure. Despite his dismissal from Fox News, O'Reilly continued his broadcasting career by launching a new show on the First TV, a conservative streaming platform. This scandal not only marked the end of a prominent era for O'Reilly, but also set a significant precedent in the media industry, demonstrating the powerful impact of harassment allegations and the resulting consequences for high-profile figures. Los Angeles earthquake. Early one morning in 2014, during a routine broadcast, two news anchors in Los Angeles experienced a sudden and intense earthquake. The male anchor, visibly terrified, shouted, "We're having an earthquake! Earthquake! We're having an earthquake!"
Coming up, more problems for a troubled singer. Yep,
We're having an earthquake.
As the set shook, the anchors ducked under their table while the crew scrambled to safety. One reporter later described it as the strongest earthquake he had ever faced, live on air. Although earthquakes are common in Los Angeles, this one was notably powerful. With over 300 lights above them, some weighing up to 25 pounds, the potential for serious injury was high. Thankfully, their quick reactions ensured everyone was safe. Distracted anchor. In 2017, a live news moment in Australia sparked outrage, but not for the reason you might expect.
Now to sport with Meredith Sheehan.
News anchor Natasha Exelby was caught daydreaming on air, and when the cameras returned to her, she appeared startled but quickly composed herself, saying, "Now to sport with Mir." Despite her professional recovery, Natasha was fired, which angered viewers. They were upset not with Natasha, but with the station for dismissing her over what they saw as a minor lapse. Natasha tweeted, "Thank you all for your generous support. Not my finest hour. Myself and my mesmerizing pen honorably salute you." While she seemed to find humor in the situation, many viewers felt she was unfairly treated, believing her firing was an overreaction to a small mistake, spreading hate. Rick Sanchez's broadcasting career began in college, where he developed his skills at local stations in Miami and Houston before reaching a national audience in the early 2000s. By 2004, he had joined CNN and hosted his own show, Rick's List. However, in an interview with Pete Dominick, Sanchez made anti-Semitic remarks saying, "You're such a minority. I mean, I'm telling you that everybody who runs CNN is a lot like Stewart, and a lot of people who run all the other networks are a lot like Stewart." The backlash was immediate. Sanchez was fired the next day, and his show aired its final episode that same night, A Racist Named Bob. The late Bob Beckel, who co-hosted Fox News' The Five from 2011 to 2015, was known for his controversial statements, including derogatory remarks about Muslims and Asian Americans. His tenure was cut short when he was first let go due to a prolonged absence while recovering from back surgery. After a 2-year hiatus, Beckel was reinstated but was dismissed again for racially insensitive comments directed at an African-American IT employee. At the time, Fox News was already dealing with various harassment allegations, and Beckel's departure was seen as a move to mitigate further damage to the network's image. Attorney Douglas Wigdor, representing the IT worker and other Fox employees in racial discrimination lawsuits, detailed a troubling incident involving Beckel. Wigdor reported that Beckel reacted negatively when a black IT worker came to service his computer, leaving the office and explicitly stating that his departure was due to the employee's race. Wigdor further alleged that Beckel attempted to intimidate the IT worker into withdrawing his complaint in front of Chief Human Resource Officer Kevin Lord. Following the incident, Fox News reportedly tried to downplay the situation by releasing details on a Friday to minimize media scrutiny. The network also allegedly failed to disclose the full extent of Beckel's comments and his efforts to persuade the worker to retract his complaint. Wigdor criticized Fox for this approach and affirmed that he and his clients would continue to pursue legal action against the network for racial discrimination. The case highlights ongoing concerns about workplace conduct and the handling of discrimination claims within prominent organizations. Armed takeover. In January 2024, Ecuador's state of emergency took a chilling turn during a live broadcast on TC. Armed men stormed the studio, brandishing weapons and threatening the news anchor, while a terrified woman pleaded, "Don't shoot, please don't shoot." For 20 intense minutes, the crew was held hostage on air, their plight witnessed by millions.
Inside, another man has several guns pointed at him as people shout for police to leave.
The criminals demanded the anchor read their message, using the broadcast as a tool for their dark agenda. Police and military forces swiftly surrounded the station and arrested the perpetrators. Thankfully, the crew emerged unharmed, but the incident starkly exposed the perilous vulnerability of journalists in times of crisis. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next episode.